About what you negotiated in making Sinners, the arrangement you had with Warner Brothers. The New York Times reports Warner Brothers agreed to spend $90 million to make Sinners and agreed to give you a cut of gross ticket sales, now rare arrangement known as first dollar gross, meaning before they recoup their costs, you're getting money as well. Warner also agreed, and this is absolutely key, to relinquish its ownership of the film to you after 25 years. The Times reports, quote, some rival film companies were horrified that Warner Brothers would give a film away even after a period of time.
I'll maybe add some context that maybe those articles didn't add. I'm not the first filmmaker to get any of these deals. You know, and Warner Brothers is not the first studio to provide these deals to a filmmaker. You know, so like I think that a lot has been made of my deal in particular. I'm not totally sure why. You know, I have my guesses. You know, but I've been in the industry long enough to know what kind of deals are possible, and nothing about this deal is a new thing. You know.
What's your guesses, Ryan?
It is not a I'd rather not say.
We gonna leave it on that. Hey, beautiful people. Welcome to another episode of Nights with Nicci, this special World Intellectual Property Day edition. I am trying to tell y'all when I tell you what I know, what I synced. Thank you for joining me. I had a wonderful opportunity. My husband took me on a little date night yesterday. And hi, everybody. Hi on Instagram. How are you guys? Listen, IG, let me let you know, real plain and simple. Please, if you can, log on to wirf.tv, which is my YouTube channel, because on the YouTube channel, you'll be able to see all of the things that are happening in the landscape version of this. You guys, I had to get on live. I haven't been feeling great. It's no secret that I got a whole lot of things going on. Again, IG, I think this is my first IG live in a minute. So I want to say thank you to everyone on Instagram, everybody on Facebook, everybody on LinkedIn who's tuning in right now. And of course, wirf.tv YouTube. Thank y'all so much for your condolences and your prayers. I can't say it enough. I really appreciate it. But we got to get back in the saddle. We got to get this thing popping again. And baby, when I tell you, it's been a lot of stuff to talk about. So as we're building this YouTube platform, and of course I'm live on IG as well, as we continue to build, we just got to talk about the things that are hot and heavy and spicy and everything in between out here in these here internet streets. The movie Sinners, when I tell you, smooth, blues, jazzy, confident beat, baby, let me tell you. Thank you and welcome to another episode of Nights with Nicci. I don't know what, there's so much I could say about this film. There is so much I could say about this film, but let me start by picking up where Mr. Ryan Coogler left off. IG, the routine is that I'm going to have you guys on Instagram for a minute, and then I'm going to very respectfully ask y'all to join me over on YouTube. And be sure when you come over to YouTube to hit that like button, that share, and that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. But ladies and gentlemen, when I tell you this Sinners film Is one of the best movies that I've seen in a long time. And today is Intellectual Property Day. And, you know, it's so fitting because a big part of this conversation is the type of deal that Mr. Coogler was able to negotiate for himself. And you saw there in the clip. I'm going to run this clip back one more time because I think it's a very important conversation for us to have, and then we're gonna get back and we're gonna talk a little bit more about it. But check this clip out because he's
and talk about what you negotiated in making Sinners, the arrangement you had with Warner Brothers. The New York Times reports Warner Brothers agreed to spend $90 million to make Sinners and agreed to give you a cut of gross ticket sales, now rare arrangement known as first dollar gross, meaning before they recoup their costs, you're getting money as well. Warner also agreed, and this is absolutely key, to relinquish its ownership of the film to you after 25 years. The Times reports, quote, some rival film companies were horrified that Warner Brothers would give a film away even after a period of time.
I'll maybe add some context that maybe those articles didn't add. I'm not the first filmmaker to get any of these deals. You know, and Warner Brothers is not the first studio to provide these deals to a filmmaker. You know, so like I think that a lot has been made of my deal in particular. I'm not totally sure why. You know, I have my guesses. You know, but I've been in the industry long enough to know what kind of deals are possible, and nothing about this deal is a new thing. You know.
What's your guesses,
It
Ryan?
is not a I'd rather not say. but you know, like the attention on what's happening with this project, you know, outside of it as a piece of art and as a piece of commerce has been very interesting. You know, but for me, you know, this film was very important to me. As a writer director, I've made over $2 billion at the global box office. I'm not yet 40 years old. It's taken a lot of time, commitment, energy, and I've missed out on a lot of things in my life. Making films that will always be owned by other people. For this one, because it was so personal, and because I had the ability to negotiate. You know, I asked for a few things that were very important to me for this project. You know, and for what it was about and what it meant to me and my family. And thankfully, you know, I was able to get those things I was asking for from Warner Brothers.
That's a big deal. Bravo, 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 Warner Brothers. Bravo for negotiating such a powerful deal. Now, y'all know it's not every day we see Black creators getting this type of control and respect in Hollywood, especially the kind they deserve. But Ryan Coogler, a visionary in every sense of the word, did something with Sinners that's not just rare, it's revolutionary, right? I know a lot of people are wondering what it's all about. And, oh, I'm sorry. It stopped? It's not going? Is it not going? Can you guys see me? Is it still going? It's going here? Yep, I'm sorry. My husband, my EP of my show, just needed to come in and make sure y'all could still see me because we've been having some technical difficulties. I don't know. Maybe it's the power of Sinners and everybody talking about how incredible it is. But anyway, he was able to secure full creative control, no studio, no notes. He made a deal where the rights actually revert back to him in 25 years. So this is unheard of, y'all. This is unheard of, especially with Black filmmakers. And this isn't just a movie, it's a movement. And the industry is shooketh. They are not. Listen, let me tell you when I tell you what I know when I tell you. These people out here in these streets shook. Critics are calling it too risky, but is it truthful? Right? And this is the future. This has to be the future of going forward with filmmaking in Hollywood. And this is a great example of what happens when major studios stop trying to own us and start partnering with us, period. Because, I mean, I don't know how much, matter of fact, let me take a look and see to date. If anybody knows, please drop it. I don't know how many millions and upon millions, tens of millions of dollars that the movie has generated, but it has generated a ton of money. And also, look, let's talk about the magic between Ryan and Michael B. Jordan. Baby, this ain't their first time at the rodeo. They did Fruitvale Station, they did Creed, they did Black Panther, and they did a great job in every one of those films. And that speaks to partnership. That's a really great, I think Spike Lee was one of the first people that we saw that continued to do movies and films and projects with people that he had relationships with actors and actresses and really talented people. And I actually like to do the same thing as well. So you guys will look up and you'll see in my TV shows, you'll see, you know, friends that do reality TV might pop up in a movie or a short, might pop up in a talk show. You know, it's just, I think when you have that chemistry and you got a great working relationship with people, it's great because it's about trust, it's about loyalty, and it's about knowing that you have people that come together to tell stories with authenticity. Y'all listen, let me tell you something. This movie has so many layers. I was sitting there looking like, oh, did they really just, oh, and did he really just, and the symbolism of Jim Crow, I don't know if you guys are familiar or not, but Jim Crow actually came, I talked about this briefly in another live. The concept of Jim Crow came from a man who performed in blackface, you know, and I mean, you know, I ain't got to tell you. That was something that happened long ago. And unfortunately, there are still effects and remnants of Jim Crow existing in the industry today, right? When we look at, okay, so I think the real definition of it is them having an opportunity to show us in the light in which they saw us, right? And that trickled down into every aspect of Black life because they were basically creating our culture and feeding our community these narratives and these stories that weren't a reflection or representation of who we are or who we were at all. And I think it's really sad that, you know, it hasn't gone away. On some levels, yes, right? Because we aren't in Jim Crow South per se. But everywhere you look in the industry, you see examples of caricatures or narratives or not necessarily literal blackface, but what could be considered blackface when you listen to the music and you watch a lot of the narratives on television and you see that, you know, yeah, they really do have control over how people perceive us as people. And I think that is the reason this movie has resonated with so many people. I think that's the reason why this movie has been so successful at the box office, because they say what is real speaks to the heart. And when I tell you, baby, this man spoke to the hearts and the minds of so many people. And I don't think that it was just Black people. I think that he spoke to the hearts and minds of people who wanted to be entertained by a creative musical. It wasn't really a horror film. I know a lot of people have been kind of, you know, talking about the fact that it was a horror movie. It wasn't really a horror movie. It was actually a thought piece for me. You know, it really made me think. Somebody trying to get in my studio, though. Everything all right? Is everything all right out there, y'all? I'm talking, so I can't see. But it really makes you think. It was one of those things that make you go hum. And another thing that I have to say that I think is really powerful about Ryan Coogler in particular is that he always seems to come with these projects and these films like just at the moment that we need them most, right? Remember, Black Panther came along at a time and it was just like everybody was running around with the Wakanda Forever energy, which is something that we need desperately in our community, especially right now. So to have a movie like Sinners and this incredibly talented cast of people was just right on time for our community. I think that it is something that we should see a whole lot more of. I pray to God that this isn't the last. And, you know, I talked about the fact that this was World Intellectual Property Day. And that is a really important time because this is a day when we're supposed to acknowledge all of the incredible creatives and all of the dope ass work that we do. And we've been in a cycle of a lot of people not feeling appreciated, a lot of creatives not feeling like they're paid properly, not feeling like we have the right opportunities presented, not feeling like we can do those types of deals. And I love that Ryan said that the deal wasn't necessarily so unusual or unprecedented. I think the whole concept of this is that the deal was just unusual and unprecedented for Black people, right? When we think about people having the ability to have ownership, he's allegedly, I don't know the terms of his deal. I was not there, but what the streets are saying is that after 25 years, he gets the ownership of the property back. And that's really powerful. It's a really big deal, especially in a town where we are often, like he said, he did $2 billion in movie sales or sold, $2 billion worth of tickets in the box office. And to not have anything that goes on for generations after that, you put all this blood, sweat, and tears, you've made all this money for the networks and the studios, and there's nothing to show for it except, some awards and whatever you make off of the movie at the time that you make it. But what makes it tangible and real and important is when you're able to pass that legacy and that art down to your family. It's a big, 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 big deal. And I'm so happy that, Ryan Coogler has had the success that he has had in this film, as well as everything he does basically turns to gold. I'm so glad that he's been able to do that because it shows that this isn't just a fluke, right? And it's very important. So let me shout out all of the incredibly talented people who were part of this cast. Michael B. Jordan plays Stack, Grace Child. I had pictures ready, y'all, but we done have some technical difficulties, so y'all just gonna have to bear with me and just visualize the people as I name the characters. But Haley Steinfeld played Mary, Michael B. Jordan played Stack and Smoke, which I thought was really amazing. I was like, how's that gonna go? One person, playing two characters, but I mean, how else would you portray twins in a movie? And I thought that was perfect. He did an excellent job. Lynn, if I'm messing up these people's names, y'all, please bear with me. Lynn Jun Lee, who played Grace Child. Oh my God, when I tell you how much I love this Wunmi Masaku, I think I'm saying it right. She played the character of Annie. We're going to get into that a little bit. Just incredible performance. To see this big, beautiful, sexy, voluptuous, gorgeous, stunning woman embodying all of these different layers in this character was just amazing. I'm gonna show you guys a clip. Matter of fact, let me go to it right now because it's a short clip, but she explains a little bit about her character, and I think it's important for us to have some context. Check it out.
Character of Annie, she's a hoodoo priestess, and hoodoo it derives from Ifa, which is a Yoruba traditional religion. It's something I have never looked into. It's never been a part of my upbringing at all. And so doing the research for Annie, I am now introduced to a part of me, a part of my ancestry, and it really resonated very deeply within me. I feel like I've been doing Yoruba lessons for like 5 years, and finally, in the last 6 months, I feel like the language is finally starting to stick with me. I got a call saying Ryan Coogler would like to meet you for his next movie, and was like, wow, Ryan Coogler knows who I am? I did not expect that. Yeah, I think horror is a really powerful genre because the horrors of assimilation, the horrors of losing their connection, and especially the way we talk about people who aren't from where you're from, othered. Sometimes it's like we forget that there is so much sacrificed, whether you're seeking asylum or moving as an economic migrant. There is so much sacrifice there.
Man, listen, and I love her whole vibe and her whole energy. So shout out to Wunmi. I'm saying it right, I think. Masaku. Also, Omar Benson Miller played Cornbread. Y'all, he was excellent in this movie, right? It's interesting because, well, there is no small role, only small actors, right? But it's interesting because each moment he was on camera, every moment he was in scene was just so dope and such a great representation of that character. Like when they initially, and if you haven't seen it, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to blow it for you, but if you haven't seen it, you don't need to be even watching this live because we're going to get into some of the details. But when he was in the cotton field and, you know, his whole, it was perfect. Everything about this portrayal of Cornbread, and every character was perfect. Okay, Jamie Lawson played Pearline. She was absolutely awesome and stunning and gorgeous and beautiful. And y'all, when I tell y'all, one of my all-time favorite actors on the planet, Delroy Lindo. He played Delta Slim. Y'all, Delroy Lindo can do no wrong for me on film. He is just, I don't know what it is. And it's so funny. He reminds me of somebody. Delroy Lindo reminds me of this man that used to live across the street from us, Dollar. Was, you know, I don't even know what his real name is. You know, he had nicknames for people in the hood. I don't even know what his real name is, but we called him Dollar. And Dollar and Delroy Lindo had some similarities in just kind of how they spoke, and like he just brings you into every scene that he does. He does an incredible portrayal. And of course, Miles Catton, which he may be a newcomer because I haven't seen him in much, but boy, oh boy, did he play the hell out of that role. And I wonder if that was actually him singing. So I won't give too much away, but let's get into some of the layers, because Sinners is not just about scandal or survival. It's a mirror to our history, which is crazy, right? It taps into the deep, ugly truths of Jim Crow America, especially the way Black music, like I said earlier, Black music, Black culture, Black bodies have been exploited for profit, right? Let's just keep it all the way real. And that might be a little something, might have a little something to do with some of this criticism that we out here getting. You see it in all the contracts that we sign. You see it in the songs and every dream deferred, all the stuff, all the creative properties that are stolen from us. And Coogler didn't just make a movie, he made a message, right? So don't just go into the theater expecting to be entertained. Expect to go into the movie being educated and informed and inspired and receiving a message. And that message is, our art is not yours to take. Our pain is not your product. Our love, our music, and our dreams are sacred. And you get that when you watch this movie. I'm trying to talk around it because I don't want to give too many of the juicy details for those who haven't seen it. And if you have not seen the film, then you need to make sure that you see it soon, because from what I understand, this is probably the last week or so that you can see it in IMAX, and it's super important that you see it in IMAX. And I love that Ryan Coogler did a whole video explaining what it meant to do. I think it was 70 millimeter, 65 millimeter, something like that film, and the difference in the film and the difference in the capture of the film. Like, you could tell he's really entrenched and involved in every aspect of making this project. And I just think that is so powerful coming from a young Black man. He's not even 40 yet, and he's doing the damn thing. You guys, do me a favor. I'm sorry to all my Instagram folks. Y'all, I hope you guys came over from Instagram. Oh, let's get into some of these comments. But do me a favor and hit like and subscribe. And you guys, if I'm a little kooky tonight, it is because I do still have a little bit of a headache. But I really want to be consistent on my YouTube channel. I really want to make sure that I am, delivering as much as possible. So bear with me. Please do hit like, share, and subscribe. MJ Hankerson. Okay, yes, we can see you. They didn't want him to get his just due. I agree. And it's a shame because, everybody made money. Obviously, everybody was entertained. I don't see that many folks out here, except people who just, gonna complain in the desert that the water don't have ice in it. But I think it's so important for this film and how impactful it has been in our community, and not just the story and the way it was filmed and the music. Man, everything about it was dope. Like, when you think about how we were represented, like how our bodies, and I'm gonna get into that as well, because I really want to get into this whole thing with Black love being reimagined with Smoke and Annie. Baby, when she laid his head on her bosom, I was like, okay, see, now this is how it goes down in real life. And then when she said, I see your body remember me, or your body ain't forgot me, or whatever that line was, it was crazy. But anyway, it's really important for us to support these projects, even if it's not like, even if you're not like, oh my God, it was amazing, it was this, that, and the third. You can't deny that walking away from that film, you felt a sense of, pride, and a sense of, and baby, that last, not the last scene. Make sure if you guys go see the movie, make sure you stay and you watch the end credits, because something really dope happens in the end credits that you guys have to see. So after the credits, there's a whole nother moment. But the last scene in the movie, the last scene with the pow pows, and I was like, oh, this is why they may have a problem with it. Right? Now, you can see all kinds of movies where southern trees and strange fruit, as Billie Holiday would say it, black bodies swinging from southern trees, but you haven't seen, I think maybe there's maybe one or two other ones where I've seen that kind of revolt, but you ain't seen the scene that you saw at the end of Sinners, when them folks came back to that place trying to show out. And that was the bomb. So let me get into some of y'all's comments and questions and stop talking so much, because yes, I do have a headache. Last time, what? Wow. Last time I checked, it was, hold on, add to the, boom. Hold on, let's bring it up here. Hold on, let me see if I can get these comments. I don't know, y'all. Please bear with me. Last time I checked, it was over 170 million globally, and I'm sure it's changed by now. Okay, MJ Hankerson says this movie will have Ryan's family set for generations to come. Wow, absolutely. Oh, that was Miles singing. Hey, Soror, so that was him singing. Okay, so I have so much more respect now. I mean, not that I didn't respect him before that, but the fact that that was him singing, he had an amazing, amazing voice. Absolutely. So, yeah, let's talk a little bit about, like I said, my head is like warp. So if I'm talking a little sideways, y'all bear with me. But I want to keep my promises when I say I'm going live. Black Love Reimagined. Listen, Linda. Another thing I want to highlight, and honestly, it made me a little bit emotional, was that love story between Smoke and Annie. Because you just don't see that, and it was real. It was messy, it was passionate, it was layered, but most importantly, it was refreshing. Yes, it was refreshing to see a full-figured, beautiful Black woman portrayed desirable, sexy, powerful, without being a stereotype. Hello? Without being a stereotype. Baby, that was revolutionary in and of itself to see that. We never see it. The character of Annie wasn't just a side chick or a trope or the plus size best friend. She was the heartbeat of this movie. And I applaud Ryan Coogler for allowing Black women to have that moment. And let me find my little stuff. I don't know if I can find it now, y'all. I got a headache, but I was going to find my applause. But y'all, let's clap together. Ryan Coogler's wife, shout out to you, sis. And I'm so sad that I don't know. Hold on, I'm about to, I ain't doing her. She ain't going out like that. Hold on. I think I know her name, but I'm not going to guess when I can just put it in the computer and it'll tell me. I'm going to try to say it. Zinzi. I hope I'm saying that right. Zinzi Coogler. First of all, she is absolutely stunning. Drop dead gorgeous. And to be an executive producer and to be so important on this film, as a young Black woman and a young Black couple making these moves together is just super duper powerful. Yes. So anyway, back to Annie. Annie was the heroine of this film. She was the one holding down everybody's broken dreams, holding them together. It was grit. It was love. It was a will to survive. Like she was in that room, in that space, like, y'all get this shit, please understand. And when she came to that door and was like, well, hold on, why ain't he just walking in? I was like, that's right, sis. You got to invite the devil into your house. But anyway, I think that Black women have always played a role, right, behind the scenes in every revolution, but rarely get credit for it. And Coogler made sure that this character, Annie, this woman, got her flowers on the screen. And I loved the scene where, you know, it all went down, and it was Stack who ended up, unfortunately, turning her, or, you know, making her the undead, whatever. And I'm just glad that, you know, we had that really dope moment, because as an audience, you're like, Smoke, she told you what to do if she got. So you got to do it, brother. I know it's hard, but she told you what to do if it went down. Smoke, you got to do this. You got to do this. So even in that one little moment, and if you've seen the film, you know what that moment is. It was just like, do it. Because I know that was like a very hard thing for him to do. That was the love of his life. And I just absolutely adored the film. Does anybody else have any commentary that they would like to add? So my headache having ass don't have to talk too much. This definitely ain't gonna be one of them long lives tonight, y'all. And I actually did my hair for y'all and everything, but that might be what gave me that slight headache. I woke up with it, but you know, I digress. Let's see what y'all talking about, because I can't see nothing, especially with a headache. Yes, Debbie. Debbie says, I must see this movie. You absolutely must see this film. It is so powerful. It is so important, and it is so necessary. Our woman out. Good evening. Yes, she is a force. She is a force. She is a force. She is a whole force. Let me give you guys a clip from Michael B. Jordan, and I'm going to go try to find this amazing photo of our sister. Hold on one sec. Here we go.
All right, now, what's up, y'all? Listen, I'm speechless. I'm proud. I'm happy. I'm blown away by the outpour of love and support, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you to everybody who bought some popcorn, who bought a ticket, who got a babysitter, who pulled up and showed love to sinners this past week. And you know, we set out to do something, to tell a story, to be honest, you know, to bare our souls as best we can in the work that we do. So on behalf of the entire cast and crew and creators, I want to say thank you to all the fans. I just want to say thank you. I mean, wow. Like, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, from the memes to like just the conversations that are happening to, you know, everybody's taking something from it, and it's so much to unpack. And at the end of the day, it's just like, it's in the words of Coog, it's a full meal. And I'm blessed to be a part of it. So I just want to say thank you sincerely from the bottom of my heart, from Smoking Stack. Yeah, thank you. And you know, if you haven't seen it, go see it. If you've seen it once, go see it twice. If you've seen it twice, go see it 3 times. You might get something different from it. Yeah, love you guys. Appreciate it. Sincerely. Peace.
I love it. I love it. And one of the things that I've been looking at a lot of the clips and stuff online. I did find it absolutely gorgeous. Matter of fact, let me see if I can just insert this, because Baby Wound Me is fine. Well, let me add it while I'm live. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, wait, hold on. We didn't leave it there long enough. Hold on. Let me put it back up here. Come on, sis. Boom. What? Do y'all see the beauty of this sister? She is absolutely stunning. Absolutely, positively stunning. And it's so great to see beautiful, brown, full, layered women play sexy and play, because a lot of people probably thought that Annie was his mom, right? Like, I mean, because not knowing, I mean, I knew because I saw the film, but I saw a couple of comments, like, how many of y'all thought that was his mom or his sister or his auntie or somebody? Because typically those are the roles that are reserved for, you know, women like us, right? Voluptuous, big personalities, big lips, sexy eyes, big boobs. And the way it didn't seem forced, it didn't seem like they were putting, this young, dapper, athletic man with this woman as sort of, to make a point. It was just like you saw the love and you saw the history. And I think it just added so many layers, and I absolutely love it. And thank you, Ryan Coogler, for allowing us to have that moment. Someone said, hold on, let me get back to these comments. Oh, this is a good one. Always got a good one, XO. Hold on, let me expand this so that y'all can read it too. So y'all can read this sucker too. Hold on. Boom. Oh, there we go. Wow. Okay, there we go. The movie was moving and stirring. It is not often that I see a movie in the theater that I want to immediately watch again. It's layered. It's one of those you'll get when you get home films. Okay. That comment right there is probably, one of the realest comments that I've read in a long time, because it sticks with you. I think that's what we all kind of learn from this film. It really does stick with you. It is when I said earlier, it's like a thought piece. It's like, okay, what? And then when you think, well, another interesting, tidbit I got from the film is that, this lead vampire character was Irish. And I was just talking about my great grandfather's Irish. Go figure. We vampires too. But it was just, and if you know the history of Ireland, you know that there were some issues there with their history and their culture, being appropriated. So it's kind of like really interesting that they chose, that particular chosen Irishman to be the lead vampire. And the fact that it was the music, it was Miles's voice, it was the music and the blues, which is something that they could not. It's interesting. It's a question about our gifts and why they're so valuable and why they mean so much to the world. And my husband and I, back to your point, XO, talking about, you still talk about it when you go home. We were talking about the fact that music is like a real life time capsule, right? Because music is the one thing that I believe brings those emotions right to your doorstep. Like you can smell the food cooking, you can taste the food, the nostalgia, it taking you back to that moment. Like I hear certain songs, right, from the 70s, and I immediately go to conversations my mom would be having with my aunt about what they were going to cook for the poker party in the basement that they were going to have, or us trying to figure out how to plot to get that last little drop of beer out of my uncle's can, or somebody getting too drunk and getting put out. Like it literally puts you, like you can almost visualize it and see it. So I have to see it again. Like Michael B. Jordan said, it's one of those things you have to see 2 and 3 times because you'll get something different from it each time you see it. But in my conversation with my husband, we were just like, the value of what Black people bring to everything we do, but music in particular, sticks with you in a way that other art forms don't, right? Like we see a movie and it'll take us back, or we'll see Set It Off or Poetic Justice, you know what I'm saying? And when you're doing it, like you'll be like, oh, this was good. You remember that this is a good movie. But the physical manifestation of memories and energy and thoughts. Music truly is the soundtrack of our lives, right? It will make you angry. It will, I hate to turn it into this, but there were certain songs that I was listening to when I was sitting with my sister. And if I hear those songs, like she loves Incognito, right? Incognito was we both love Incognitos. Awesome group out of the UK, I believe. Still a friend of mine, oh, still a friend of mine. In deep waters, I'm drowning deeper. Our soror Mesa is a part of one of the amazing voices in Incognito. But my point of this is that hearing certain songs really make me emotional. And it was really hard. Like I couldn't listen to, and I still have a hard time listening to like sad songs or songs that were my sister's favorites. And eventually, as we get through, well, we never get through the process of grief, but eventually, it'll be different. But music, I have a real emotional connection to it, especially as a writer and as a singer. I think it's part of the reason why I have, such an issue, and not just me. I think it's the reason why most of us in this industry have such issues with the industry, because it is such a personal experience for us. It is literally, that's why they call it soul music. And maybe that's got something to do with it, right? Because from gospel to blues to soul to jazz, there is an element in it coming from us, right? Now, I'm not saying there's not a lot of non-Black people out there that can't sing their asses off. But most of the time when you think about somebody really being gifted and talented that is non-Black, you kind of, in a way, compare them to Black artists. Or they have somehow, like, Robin Thicke will tell you in a heartbeat. He's blue-eyed soul all day. But we worked with Robin Thicke. I think Robin Thicke was like 17 when Brownstone worked with him. And he'll tell you in a heartbeat the influence that Black music and Black artists had on him. Adele, incredible singer, but come on, like, you didn't get no Aretha Franklin, Whitney Houston, none of that out of Adele. So I truly believe that, and this is the other thing, if you really think about it, right? And this is connected to the film. If you really think about it, that kind of soul, although, don't get it twisted, because was it Bobby Caldwell? Who was, I bet you wonder where I've been. I searched to find a love within. Come on, y'all. And I came back to I didn't know he was white. The whole time I'm singing that song as a child. I had no idea. So that's soul. And then, of course, nobody can take anything away from Tina Marie. But the cadence and the tone and the way that they sing the songs is connected to soul music. It's connected to Black music. So when you see a film where the whole concept of this film is these vampires are trying to get into this juke joint so that they can take this man's soul, literally, so that he can join their little Riverdance Irish group or whatever. It's really interesting. It's really, 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 really interesting. And the value of what we bring, head hurt. The value of what we bring to music and to art and to film is truly invaluable, right? It really is hard to put a price on it, because it just is something that sticks with the world forever. It is, that's the reason why most of us have contracts that say the word perpetuity, forever, forever, ever, forever, ever, because people know the value of what we create. And it's sad that it's exploited the way that it is, but hey, deals like the one that Ryan did, I want y'all to really think about what this deal with Warner Brothers means. It's not just about him. It's about each and every one of us. It's about all of us. When you give creators the freedom to tell their stories their way, right? Our way, without corporate watering down, you get art that is timeless. You get ownership that builds generational wealth and wellness. You get a system where instead of stealing our magic, they're partnering with our brilliance, and major studios need to stop seeing this model as a threat. Major studios, record companies, all of them need to stop seeing this model as a threat and start seeing it as the blueprint. Because listen here, when I tell you, Linda, it works. It works. I'm sorry. Our woman out says, I haven't seen it yet either, but it's on the list. Absolutely. Michael B. Jordan has really come into his own. We should all be proud to support him. Absolutely, 100%. And music does indeed speak to our soul. On another note, Chef Fine as Wine. I love the Angie Stone tribute. Thank you so, so much. I appreciate you. hold on. Okay, Soror said, this was a great film that touched on so many topics, not only from Black history, but American history. Truthfully brilliant. That is indeed the comment. I think that the moment that we start to really embrace the idea of allowing storytellers and creators, whether it's filmmaker, a singer, performer, writer, when we start to allow people to speak from their own voice, undiluted, not watered down by corporate BS, and really allow people to share their gifts with the world, I think it just becomes such a more peaceful, beautiful place, right? It's been a long time since we've had the kind of music that we had in the 90s and even in the 80s and even in the 70s. I mean, quit playing. I don't know what happened after like 2000 something. It turned into a whole, I think that is the example. I think that is exactly the example. When corporations started to realize that they could do it for less money and they could have control and ownership over it forever. And they could just siphon all of the creative genius from artists and creatives because maybe they have more money, they have more resources and relationships, they own everything, right? That is when it started to become whack. And then there's a film that comes along like Panther, which is ironically same person who did Sinners, which is the other film that comes along. And most other Black film. I mean, look at Friday. I think it was Friday that was made for like $2. And it's just generated like all this extra revenue. And, you know, years later, it's still yielding dividends, which is so important for people to understand. This is why we have this generational wealth and wellness conversation. And we have it, you know, with so much bass in our chest. Because, you know, it's important for everybody to benefit from the creative genius of Black people, meaning including Black people, because everybody but Black people benefit from it. And I hope that this becomes the blueprint. I hope that more and more people, because, you know, we've seen Tyler Perry have, you know, his ownership and licensing thing and what he's been able to build with his studios and all of that. And I think that that was the example of like the only person in the whole wide world who actually had that kind of leverage and was lucky enough to do that. And ironically, and I don't use that word lightly, that's the same kind of deal I was pitching to Lionsgate when I went in and talked to them. And, you know, not to turn this amazing conversation about this amazing film Sinners into P-Valley Soulkins Cabaret conversation. But I mean, since we're here, matter of fact, somebody said, right here we go. Thank you very much. SKC versus P-Valley. Yes, we going all the way. We going uphill on the rough side of the mountain. Yeah, we're going to the Supreme Court. Ooh, this is a powerful one. Odd Woman Out. They have turned music into a soulless money pit. It's sad. Damn show is. But let me tell you, I hope that this film and what the conversation that it started, and today is, oh, I'm sorry, you guys, let me tell you, please hit the like button. Please hit the like, the share, the subscribe button. So that YouTube knows that you're interested in this conversation. And I am, you know, like I said, 11 times today, I have a headache, but I'm still here. And I'm going to make it my business. Hold on, y'all. Get this hair together because I did put some work into it for y'all. Okay, here we go. I really need a brush, but anyway. I'm going to make it my business to be here more often. My soror, who is also a part of Team Worth, is on the line. And, you know, yeah. I had to take a minute to gather my thoughts and my bearings and get my spirit together. But I will be here much more often and hopefully giving y'all content that you can actually enjoy. I like that hashtag, Justice for Nicci. That works. It's so important that we support not just, these big, amazing, incredible films that are being made by the big studios, because, there are still big studios involved in these projects, but it's so important that the independent creators, and I'm going to read, hold on, what's the time on this? Oh, right. I'm going to read my open letter to creatives, y'all. I wrote an open letter to creatives that I want to read and share with all of you. But I think it's important to not just support the big boys, not just support the major companies, but to support the independent creatives, because that is how we create, or not create, that is how we discover people like Ryan Coogler, right? And, when I think about my own journey, and I think about, I have so many what I believe are really dope scripts that are just ready to go, but I kind of got PTSD a little bit. Like, maybe it's good because I shouldn't be talking about them until, we get closer to getting those things done. But please actively support the same way we've been actively supporting this film, the same way the word of mouth on this movie has generated so much, somebody said 170 million plus in revenue. That's like incredible, right? So don't be afraid to support and stand up with and stand alongside with creatives, right? This is World Intellectual Property Day. And there's a reason why intellectual property is valued the way that it is. It is because in perpetuity, forever, it will be there for people to enjoy, for people to be entertained by. So when we write a song or perform a song or do a film, direct a film, it doesn't just end after the film is over. It goes on for generations. And people who create these incredible ideas and songs and all, we deserve to benefit from that as well. So tonight on World Intellectual Property Day, let's toast to creatives who dare to own their dreams, to visionaries like Ryan Coogler, artists like Michael B. Jordan, heroines like Annie, and to every sinner who refuses to sell their soul for a seat at somebody else's table. We the table. We are the storytellers. And baby, we're just getting started. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. Please make sure y'all hit the like button. So let me read, hold on, I put this together and I want to read this for you guys because, it's very, I've been doing a lot of writing, and I've been trying to, y'all, I've been trying to figure out how to process a lot of what's been going on with me, not just personally with my family and some of the losses, but, this trial. It's funny that I use the word trial because a trial is actually something that I did not get. Oh, shout out to my dramatic shirt, my dramatic ass. A trial is something that I did not get. A trial is something I didn't get, and I definitely feel like I deserved. Due process was something I did not get, and I feel like I deserve. But we can't stop fighting for it. We can't stop. And when I looked at this, I heard about the film first, and when I saw it, and I saw how powerful it was and how meaningful it was. And it wasn't just about a really good movie. It was about the way he did this deal, the way he was able to negotiate a deal that allows him to now, not just him, 25 years from now, when he gets that back, chances are that's going to go to his children, right? He set his family up for life. That is a really big deal. And to all the artists and the creatives out there, let me say this before I get to my open letter. I'm going to do my open letter, and then I'm going to let y'all go because, yeah. See, I might keep it under an hour tonight for real. But singers, songwriters, authors, there is something called where you, after every 35 years, your rights to you, whatever you've authored, whether it is a song, a film, whatever it is, reverts back to you and yours. Right? So make sure I think it's 35 and 60 something, 67 or something like that. So, but every 35 years. So maybe, well, if it's every 35 years, it's 35 and 70. I told you I wasn't that good at math in real life. But make sure that you have someone in your life, someone in your family, someone who, that's why it's so important for generational wellness, so that generational wellness before wealth, because you want to make sure that people are capable mentally, physically, spiritually, to handle the benefits of generational wealth. So the wellness part is key for us. And it's so hard. I was watching Succession, repeats of Succession. I can't wait till the new season starts. And even super wealthy media conglomerate, Roy has a problem trying to figure out who the successor to his success is, or his company is. So it's really important that we sow and pour into our younger generations. That is how we keep this ball rolling. And I think in the entertainment industry, and I'm getting to my open letter. Hold on, I got 4 minutes. I think one of the things that has happened in the entertainment industry is not a lot of our predecessors, right? Or a lot of the people who came before us, they fought for it, right? You had, come on, Nina Simone was not playing, Bessie Smith, so many people fought for it, but they just did not get it. They just did not have the opportunity to retain ownership of these incredible things that they've created, that have lived on and will continue to live on in perpetuity, right? So it's so important for those of us who do have the ability to fight for those rights, to fight for that intellectual property, generational wellness, generational wealth opportunity for our families, to do that. Because even if it doesn't happen for me, I'm going to the Supreme Court pro se. Pro se meaning I'm doing this shit by myself. Who told me to do that? Because I damn sure didn't tell me, no. But even if I'm not successful at that level, it is definitely something that is worth pursuing, because I will forever be on the docket as somebody who did not just allow these people to come and take everything. And for those of you who don't know what it is, I'm going to give you guys a real quick overview in my open letter. This is my open letter for every creative who dares to dream. Dear creatives, 20 years ago, I wrote a story that had never been told. A powerful layered drama about an exotic dance club run by a proud member of the LGBTQIA community, navigating love, survival, and oppression. It was original, heartfelt, and filled with characters the world hadn't seen before. A club inherited through love, a secret relationship, a homophobic antagonist determined to tear it all down and to build a casino on its ashes. I poured my heart into the story, creating it, scripting it, and even developing a dramatic pilot. I shared it with a major network, believing in good faith that the strength of my work would speak for itself. It did. $100 million investment later, they took the story, the same concept, a substantially similar one as far as I'm concerned, and made it without me. For the past 5 years, I've risked everything fighting to simply have my day in court, not for a payout, not for revenge, but for the fundamental right to have a jury hear my evidence, to be treated as an equal under the law. Instead, I was denied due process. While I fought to save my creative work, I also was fighting a much more difficult personal battle, caring for my beloved sister who recently passed away after a courageous fight against brain cancer. Now, amid my grief, I'm fighting yet another battle. I'm trying to save my family's home, trying to save our livelihood, everything from bankruptcy. How did it come to this? A judge in California, a state where my original case was not even filed, decided that my fight for justice deserved punishment. Both the district and appeals courts agreed that because I dared to persist, because I dared to ask a jury of my peers to decide my case, I should be taught a lesson. Despite paying nearly $50,000 for a qualified expert to support my claim, the court struck my expert's report, robbing me of the chance to present critical evidence. They stacked the deck, and then they called it a fair game. Now, left with no other option, I'm representing myself, filing pro se petition with the Supreme Court of the United States, asking for the most basic human right, a fair trial, an opportunity to have my evidence seen and heard, nothing more and nothing less. I don't sleep well. My blood pressure is higher than it's ever been. Y'all, I've never suffered from high blood pressure. But the stress of this case, the stress of knowing what these people could potentially do as it relates to my family and what we're trying to accomplish for generational wellness is extremely difficult. I haven't even had a chance to properly grieve the loss of my sister because every day is a battle to keep my family from being financially destroyed. All because I asked for justice. The way I've been treated, not just by the billion-dollar corporations, but by the courts themselves, is unconscionable. And while my family may never fully recover from what has been done to us, I know that telling the truth matters. I'm sharing this because this happened to me, and what happened to what my family and I is wrong. It's wrong for me. It's wrong for any creative who risk everything to tell authentic stories. And I believe with every fiber of my being that the karma is real and that those who weaponize the system against me will someday reap what they have sown. As difficult as this journey has been, I don't believe that God sent me on it as punishment. I believe that God entrusted me with it because the truth must come to light. A truth about a legal system that has for too long crushed the dreams of underfunded independent creators. A truth about the entertainment industry that profits off the backs of Black, brown, and marginalized storytellers while systematically shutting them out of of the wealth for the things that they create. Someone, someday, with the power to change this system will see, and they will act. I know that the odds are long. I know that most pro se litigants and petitions with the Supreme Court are always denied. But I'm proud of myself for going all the way. Please pray for me, pray for my family, pray for every underfunded creative standing up against Goliath. We deserve to have our stories told. We deserve to be fairly compensated for our work, no matter what a biased system says. I haven't lost because the game is rigged. I've won because I played the hand I was dealt and I never quit. This isn't just my story. I'm almost done. This is the story of countless creatives, especially Black, brown, LGBTQIA, and marginalized voices who are exploited, discarded, and silenced every single day. This system is built to exhaust us. It is built to punish us for daring to demand what is rightfully ours. But hear me clearly. I have not lost. I am still fighting. Today, I'm representing myself pro se. I'm filing with the Supreme Court. Not just for me, not just for my family, but for every creative who has ever been told to be grateful while their work was stolen. For every artist who has ever been gaslit into silence. For every storyteller whose truth was twisted by corporations that saw only profit and not humanity. We deserve better. We deserve the right to own our work, to protect our voices, to build generational wealth without shame, punishment, or theft. Even if the road is hard, even if the system is stacked against us, we must continue to demand accountability. We must continue to tell the truth. We must continue to fight. And I know the odds are against me. I know how few petitions are granted, but I refuse to back down. I was never just fighting for one case. I was fighting for all of us. So to every creative listening to this or reading this, because it's on my Substack too, don't quit. Don't shrink. Don't let them steal your voice and your legacy. Keep fighting, keep creating, and keep believing. Because even in a rigged system, a courageous player can change the rules. With love, resilience, and fire, keep motherfucking going. So yeah, I wanted to share that. And I hope that each of you who is watching this tells a friend to tell a friend that Nights with Nicci is back again. Pray for me and this headache and the stress that I am enduring pursuing this. I would really like to be on a beach somewhere recovering from this tragic loss of my dear sister Debbie. But unfortunately, I have to work. Not unfortunately, thankfully, I have the ability to work. And I hope that by me being so vocal and being so persistent and consistent in my fight against Goliath that you guys understand this is not about me. This really is about helping to change a system that has been rigged for many, many years. So I'm grateful for y'all. I'm grateful for y'all hanging out. I'm grateful for you guys constantly sending me support and encouraging words. And I will not stop this fight. I'm going as far as God allows me to go. And I hope that it inspires future generations of creators to be brave enough. Because see, that's the thing, guys. The thing is, I should have done one of these instead, like my mama used to do. No, but the thing is, they are banking on us being too afraid of losing everything to stand up for ourselves. And truthfully, I wish there was another alternative. I wish there was a more peaceful, amicable way to resolve this, but history has shown that it just doesn't work like that. It just doesn't work like that. You have to just lay on the sword. And it's sad and it's terrible because, you know, we could all be participating in making great films like the Sinners movie that has the whole world talking. If only these corporations would stop looking at us as, you know, opportunities for them to build generational wealth and wellness for their families and leaving us out. If this could be partnership, the world would be a beautiful place. But some of us ain't got it that easy. Some of us can't negotiate those deals because it's just not for everybody. And everybody can't go. All right. So I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Yes. Condolences. Thank you so much. Our family is moving forward as best we can. I'm going to go drink some water and get some rest because this whole thing has been so difficult and so stressful. Lionsgate, Stars, and Katori Hall and P-Valley for this 5 years of stress that I've endured that got my pressure up and has my family stressed out. I blame you for this because I tried like hell to avoid it. Everything I could, everything except just throwing in the towel and giving up my story. So yeah, I know the judges said, no, they're not the same. They're not the same. Oh, real quick. I'm about to get off. I know I said it. Damn, I still went over an hour. I was trying to stay under. Oh, thank you so much. You said, I love your resolve, your self-efficacy. I appreciate you for sharing invaluable gems with us. You're a force, no doubt. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. The way you've always, let me get these flowers on here real quick. The way you've always seen us, the way they've always seen us, but we ain't having it now. No, we're not. Absolutely not. Guys, if you want to see, some people are probably still out there wondering what I'm fighting about. I do have a video that we posted last night on the Worth channel that shows a comparison chart. And of course, you can always watch the side-by-side comparison video on worthmedia.com. I'm going to keep fighting. I'm not giving up, like the song says. I'm not giving up. No way. I'm not giving up. Something special come with that too. Brownstone is at the Jazz Festival, Capitol Jazz Festival in Maryland in June. We are also at the Aretha Franklin in Detroit and Cleveland. I'm going to post the dates. We got a bunch of dates coming up. So I got to get my mind, body, spirit, and voice together for these shows because they're live with a band in an hour. Oh, Lord, it's a long show. So please support Brownstone. Go to brownstoneofficial.com for all those details. And please make sure you hit like, share, and subscribe to WIRF.TV YouTube channel. And more than anything, the point of this video is to tell y'all, go see Sinners. Go see it. It's so good. It's so refreshing. And it's so necessary. All right, y'all. Good night. Thank you for spending the evening with me. Have a blessed one. God bless you.